71. Confessions by Jiang. A ghost said, "The high and middle-class folks have each told why they ended up here. Now isn't it our turn, us common rabble, to spill our dirty secrets?" The man who slept with his daughter-in-law began. "All right, I'll go first. What the hell, now that we're all dead anyway? As I've said, the factory I worked at went under. No income, just scraping by on welfare. My wife had a stroke and lay in bed for 3 years. Drained everything, left us broke and broken. When my son married, we couldn't afford a new place. They had to live with me in that cramped old flat. I wasn't even 50 yet, and I was going crazy. I'd pinch pennies from my meals and sneak off to foot massage parlors to ease the hunger. One day, I went to one of those places, was led into a private room. After a while, the woman who walked in nearly scared the soul right out of me, was my own daughter-in-law. I bolted, ashamed beyond words. But the next day, when my son was out, she comforted me. "Dad, don't be embarrassed. People do what they must. Who cares about face anymore? Truth is, I quit my old job a year ago and started working there. Your son knows. He supports it. What's the difference what job you do? In this world, people laugh at poverty, not at prostitution. I've served men much older than you, so don't feel bad. Better, it's family. Keeps the benefits in-house, saves the household a few bucks. Me and your son, we're cool with it. It's like our family's garlic press. Using it doesn't wear it out. Doesn't lose anything. So I gave in. But over time, the inevitable happened. Once, my son actually walked in on us, thought I jumped naked into the wardrobe. He pretended not to notice, said he forgot to buy cigarettes at the convenience store, and stepped out so I could get dressed. By my pride. After that, I couldn't look my son in the eye. I told people I collapsed at a chest stall, stood up too fast. That's a lie. The truth is, the guilt crushed me. The man who asked the dog to predict whether his descendant would be a son or grandson spoke next. "Since you've spilled your filth, I'll confess too. The woman my son insisted on marrying, she was actually my favorite mistress. We'd been close for a long time. That's how he met her. Deep down, I think he knew what we were to each other. But he was obsessed, like possessed, wouldn't listen to reason. I knew why. He was blinded by her looks. And she was dead set on marrying him, claimed she was already carrying his child. What could I do? I had to let it happen. But inside, I was torn. That baby, whose was it really? After they married, I was eaten alive with anxiety. She was my most cherished lover. So, like you, I kept sleeping with her behind my son's back. Though your motive was saving money and satisfying hunger, mine was love. I was a boss, after all. I didn't lack cash. But once, my son caught us, and unlike your son, mine had no mercy.
He threw me naked to the floor right then and there. Now you know how I ended up here." The private enterprise owner sighed. "I'll speak too. I built my company big. My face was on billboards, in newspapers, on TV, all respectable. But so many ugly secrets buried inside. I couldn't tell anyone while alive. Every project I won, I had to bribe someone. Sometimes with apartments, sometimes cash, sometimes women. But one time, can you believe the nerve? The official I gave a woman to complain she wasn't good enough, and ended up seducing my own wife. And my wife, she agreed. When they started their affair, I don't even know. Once, I came home early from a business trip, unannounced. Walked right in on them. My wife and I had a love that defied life and death before marriage. You know what that means. After marriage, I gave her everything. Food, clothes, comfort. And still, the shame choked me. I couldn't breathe. That's how I ended up here." The hot pot restaurant owner said, "My wife hated my younger brother while I was alive. Hated him so much, they nearly came to blows several times. She'd nag me daily. He's a good-for-nothing, lazy, parasitic. Fire him, I'd say. No matter how bad he is, he's my blood brother. I brought him from the village. Where else would I send him? Who could have guessed? I jumped off a building after losing everything in the stock market. My brother, meanwhile, had invested in the same stock that got suspended. He went to prison for robbery, but he never knew the stock had resumed trading. And when he got out, it has skyrocketed. He was suddenly rich. And guess what? He and my wife started living together. Tell me, what is love? If it weren't for the dog telling me, I'd never have believed it." A female ghost spoke. "When I was alive, I danced in the square every day, like I'd been injected with rooster blood. So excited. Why? Because the drummer there, back on the Sentown youth days, we had a thing. Wild, passionate, love like the world was ending. But his family's class background was bad, and later he became a pig butcher. My parents forbade us, forced me to break it off. After retirement, square dancing brought us back together. A gift from time, I guess. Honestly, I treasured that bond, a lifetime of hardship, and this was our reward. So whenever her wife went to her son's place in another city to babysit the grandchild, I'd make up some excuse to my old man, go to his place, cook him a nice meal, then linger in bed a while. Once, leaving his house, I realized my gold bracelet was missing. The next day, I asked him. He said he hadn't seen it. I thought, what the hell? I only went to your place. Where else could it be? I started doubting him. He even lied and said maybe his wife came back the next day and took it without telling him. I believed him. Worried, would she come after me? But one evening, a group of sex workers came to the park before starting their shift. They crossed paths with our dance group. An old friend whispered, "Look, that girl, she's wearing a bracelet that looks just like yours." I rushed over. Sure enough, it was mine. I recognized it instantly. I asked her where she got it. We barely exchanged words before we started fighting. Those girls, not ones to back down. They all jumped on me, tore at me, pinned me to the ground. I looked around for him. Where was he? He just stood far off, pretending to be invisible. After that, I felt gravely ill, never believed in love again. Eventually, the rumor reached my husband and son. They used it to mock me, to shame me. After one terrible fight, I snapped and ended my life. From atop the grave came the dog snoring. A ghost sighed. It's so lively down here. And that dog's already asleep.